Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome back to another very special episode of Cartoon Conversations with your host, Elliot Catch, and Jordan Stein. We'll take you on a sensual journey of romance, heartache, and superheroes shooting lasers out of their eyes. We hope you tune in next time as well for an even better, super special episode that won't have all this romance bullshit. But for now, we'll take you on a magical ride as we sensually massage your ears.
That's like some Prairie Home Companion shit there, dude.
It puts the lotion on its skin, damn it.
Yeah, I haven't heard the new show. I wonder how the new guy is. It's like a mandolin player or something.
Oh, for what?
The new guy at Prairie Home Companion.
Oh, I was just like, what? I went Silence of the Lambs right there, and I just like, my brain just pooped out.
I'm not a big PHC fan, but...
Oh, no?
Nah. I mean, I've listened to it. It's good, but it's not like something I have time to spend my life listening to, so...
No, definitely, I understand. I was going for more of like a Dr. Feelgood, or
Oh, no, I can understand the Dr. Feelgood. I saw that. But I don't know, it was just like a very calming, soothing tone. Dr. Feelgood's a little more creepy.
Or I could go with Bob Ross and make everyone my friend. We're just gonna make a bunch of happy little trees now. Because everyone needs a friend.
Did you see the epic rap battle with him?
Oh, with Bob Ross? Oh my god, that was so funny.
That was funny.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Bob Ross? I swear.
No, no one ever watched him our age, but everyone knows who he is.
Right.
He's one of those people.
My friends used to smoke up and watch it. And I just couldn't follow any of it. It was way too adorable, but just so boring.
That's a good description for it.
Yeah. They tried to show it to me like sober, and I was just like, nope. I'm just gonna drink a lot.
All right.
And pretend like I feel feelings. All right, let's go.
Yes.
So what is the big question of the day, Jordan, for this all-arounder romantic episode?
This week we're going to be studying why they put romance in a superhero show.
Seriously,
Is it for the parents? Is
Yes.
it for the storytelling art?
Yes.
We will find out.
All of
And
those, yes.
what I particularly like about this question is I don't know the answer. So I'm going to look forward to discovering it with you, Elliot.
To discovering it?
Well, making a good guess at it.
We shall discover it together, Jordan,
Yes.
as friends.
And
Lovers, but as friends. Good, beautiful friends. Beautiful friends. Fantastic.
That's some
So
Dr.
in this episode-
Feel good there.
Dr. Feelgood. I don't know, that sounded more rapey than anything, but still. So in
Yeah,
this episode,
that's what makes it Dr. Feelgoody.
Oh, pish, he's a great...
He's a great doctor. Totally cured my cancer.
Just like
He's a
Dr. Strange.
podiatrist. He's very good.
He's a good gynecologist. You ever see that Family Guy one where you find out your gynecologist skipped med school?
Oh, God.
The guy comes in and is like, all right, let's check out that virgina. And everyone just kind of stares at him. I don't think I want you to. So in this episode, Jordan, what was a bit different about this episode, if you may so incline us to understand?
It had more female characters than most, but spectacularly failed the Bechdel test.
I love the Bechdel test. What is the Bechdel test, Jordan, for those...
The Bechdel test is 3 simple rules that are a pretty good shorthand of whether or not something is sexist. And it doesn't really work on television shows, because television shows are too short. It's really made for movies.
Right.
But
movies.
It's a good shorthand for television shows too, and just because something fails the Bechdel test in television shows, I wouldn't particularly call it sexist. This one, I would. But...
It could just be used in terms to understand whether or not this show in itself is failing horrendously to explore female characters.
Yeah. So there's 3 simple rules. 1, are there female characters? 2,
we've got that check.
Are there more than 1?
Check.
3, do they talk about anything besides boys? So,
well,
yeah.
There's just one on it. Whenever the 2 female characters come together and have dialogue for, what was it, more than 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think it has. There's like a time limit on it.
There has to be a time limit where they talk about something that isn't like romance and boys.
Yeah.
And
They got close. They got close.
Spectacular.
But...
What do you mean they got close?
Well, when they were threatening to kill each other over a boy, that was kind. They were threatening to kill each other and talking about cultural differences.
You forget the context. It was over a boy.
It was over a boy. But there were other things involved there. Okay, it wasn't as bad as its Bechdel test score would say. Let's just say that. So, I'm going to do the episode breakdown now.
Go for it.
Alright. So we have punchy opening music as Gentleman Ghost flies over the abandoned warehouse district, I presume.
I love Gentleman Ghost.
I love Gentleman
Ghost, and I thought this was like kind of a cool entrance for him. But in this episode, I see them do a lot of like random, baseless, like energy shots. They have Gentleman Ghost. He's flying. And then he starts running for some reason, because that's obviously a lot faster than flying.
Yeah, he seems to be going slower than when he flew.
Yeah, and he runs through, like, a good 10 trucks. The first part... Yes?
I've got to ask, why didn't he just go into the sewer system?
I don't know. Well, obviously, if he did, then they wouldn't have been able to capture him.
Yeah, I get that. But you shouldn't make such obvious plot holes in the first 5 minutes.
I don't know.
Because then I'm thinking about them during the rest of the episode.
I'm not going to go too far.
If you do a plot hole at the end, it's kind of who cares, because I'm into, like, the climax. But at the beginning, I'm just like, wait, why didn't he just go into the sewers? Whatever. Okay.
I was really focusing, in all honesty, on the what was it? The action shot that they gave him. Because at the beginning, you see him running through the cars. And then the next scene is him running through the trucks. Except it had a weird panning shot that swirled around him. And then the next shot was him again running through the trucks. And so it was weird because
there were a lot of trucks to run through.
There were a lot of trucks to run through, but like, why would they spend so much time just doing that? What the hell was the point?
No, that was weird.
It was actually kind of a cool shot of watching him do that, but then they should have immediately strode back to Green Lantern trying to punch this ethereal douchebag.
Yeah. Also, it kind of shows the weakness of an uncreative Green Lantern here.
Right, I love that.
They fight. Green Lantern raises a glove, and that's pretty much the limit of the creativity we see in him this episode. But somehow Gentleman Ghost is like way more powerful than he usually is because he's defeating Green Lantern. For some reason. I don't know.
He's awesome.
Yeah, that was strange. Also, I want to say what Gentleman Ghost steals, is it just me or does it look kind of like a mother box?
Yeah, it actually kind of did. It looked like, what was it? The boom tube creator?
Yeah, they create the boom tubes and they can control certain apocalyptic technology.
It looks like it, but he says it's not, so...
No, I don't think so, because he later says it has an ion drive. So it seems more nuke-ish.
Nuke-ish.
So yeah, that's a strange one. I also don't know why Gentleman Ghost needs to steal things. I guess it's fun. I don't know.
Either way. If you are an ethereal being of power and energy, you'd spend a bit of your time trying to do some crazy shit against the law.
Either way, Gentleman Ghost electrifies the bubble Green Lantern had trapped him in, and he knocks him out. He's about to strike Green Lantern, hopefully not dead, when Hawkman saves him and captures Gentleman Ghost. His nth metal net.
Super quickly. He fucking throws a net of nth metal and he uses his axe.
Which leads to the question, where did he get the nth metal? But
well, he was an excavator, He went through all those different, temples and ruins.
Maybe he found the ancient Thanagarian nth metal supply.
He found loads of technology.
That makes sense. I'm going with it. So yeah, Hawkman tries to be chummy, but Green Lantern is not having that. Hawkman gives...
That was so sad but cute.
Okay, Hawkman is a creepy stalker.
I know.
Who's also insane.
He's trying. He's trying because, like,
look, he seems much more sane than last time. Like,
he's much more sane now, but like he was at this point where this is all information that was fed into his brain. So like this is what he believes is destiny, and I feel like
I get it. He's crazy. We need to make allowances, but I also understand why Green Lantern isn't the brotherhood of men with him. So you know.
Right. He's definitely like, thanks for the save, but keep it at an arm's length.
Yeah. So Hawkman gives Hawkgirl his regards and flies away. After they leave, Shadow Thief emerges. Dun dun dun.
Thief. Again, because we can't have any other villains.
Yes.
Because we couldn't have Gentleman fucking Ghost. Oh my god.
Gentleman Ghost would have been a good villain, but I like what they did with Shadow Thief here.
Yeah.
Plus, how many other Hawkman villains do you know?
My
total of non-Shadow Thief Hawkman villains I know are 0.
There's that one, that one bad guy, with the face, him.
I think you're thinking of Birdman.
Yeah, there you go. Angry, the Bird Keeper. How about that?
I don't think he's a real thing.
The Falconry? I don't know. I hope not even Wikipedia can save me at this point.
Yeah. It's something I should have looked up before, but I didn't think of it because I never really read Hawkman when I was a kid. So, we open in, after our credits, we open in the Metro Tower, which is actually kind of a nice change of pace. We always open on the Watchtower. It was kind of nice to see them explore a new location. So, Hawkgirl is lifting gigantic future weights. Actually, I really love the setup there. Because the weights are positioned so she doesn't really need a spotter. Which I still think is an oversight. She should most definitely have a spotter. Especially considering how much weight she was lifting, but...
She's fucking Hawkgirl. And I'm pretty sure, the fact that there's so much future technology, I'd assume it's not like you would need a spotter at that point.
Yeah, you're right. The weights look kind of like you can type a number in them, and that decides how heavy they are. They look really cool. So, Vixen is doing cardio. She says, guys, don't go for the buff look. Hawkgirl makes a quip about her girlish figure.
Right.
And all I'm thinking about, though, is I wonder if it hurts her to lie on her back with the wings.
Right! Holy shit!
I can't believe you were thinking of that, too.
Oh my god, I was like, there's just wings just probably stabbing into her fucking back right now.
I know, there's probably bones in those wings. That seems painful. Do a deadlift, man. Why are you bench pressing?
Did you ever see that picture of Hey Arnold where it was like a kind of Where Are They Now thing?
Yeah.
And it shows Helga and Hey Arnold got together?
Oh, of course.
There's a picture that shows them sleeping together in the same bed, hugging and cuddling and whatever.
Yeah.
And Arnold, they're facing each other. But to do that, they would be sleeping on their side. And so
Arnold can't sleep on his side.
The first comment I saw was there's no fucking way he's sleeping on the side of his head because he's got his head is made of 2 cones attached to each other. He's football headed for a reason. It's he would literally, his neck would have snapped at that point.
No, you're right. Yeah, so that's all I was thinking about for that scene. I would definitely have had her do deadlifts, but that's just me. Also, the spotter thing. I'm really critiquing Hawkgirl's workout methods here. I don't know. Maybe I should work out more before I do that. So,
Hawkgirl's methods of putting on wings and then fucking doing deadlifts in front of that chick that wants to bang the guy you're after.
Not wants to, is. But...
Yeah, there you go.
So, Vixen is about to leave for a photo shoot, and she said, oh, Hawkgirl, you should totally make your move. It's kind of taunting, kind of just being funny. It shows that she thinks their relationship's on firmer ground than I think it is.
I mean, what a dick.
Okay, she is kind of a dick, though.
That's in character
for her.
Well, before it was like I understand you're after the same guy, but I'm not going to give him up. But now she's really taunting
Well, she was kind of a
her.
dick about it in Hunter's Moon, too.
She was not really much. I don't think she was like that big of a dick. It was
And
more of, like,
she
an
flashed Green Lantern a
understanding.
whole lot of dirty looks the last time they were together, too.
I don't think those were
And
dirty
in-
looks. I think it was, I don't know.
And in Dead Awakening, she flashed Hawkgirl a lot of dirty looks, too. So, I mean, it's in her character to be a little bit sharp-elbowed with Hawkgirl.
I don't know. I mean, it's never been so blatant. It was just like, what a real dick thing to say. But I absolutely love what Hawkgirl says afterwards. She's like, I don't know the Earth courting systems, you know?
Yeah.
It was so much easier. I can't like poison your water or stab you in the back.
No, or kill you in your sleep.
Yeah, kill you in your sleep. And then she turns and goes, God, I miss Denegaria.
Yes.
That was so funny. Oh my God. That was amazing.
Yeah. By the way, I think Vixen's behavior kind of fits my theory that she doesn't want to break up with Green Lantern, but wants to be out of that relationship.
Really?
I think she's like, you can make a move, you know?
I won't stop you.
Hint, hint.
I get that. All right. That makes a little sense.
Because she's compared him to a bad book. She's constantly shooting him dirty looks whenever we see them together. And he is clearly head over heels for Hawkgirl. Like, really, dude. She takes the hint, and we have shown time and time again, she is not a stupid woman. She can't have missed this stuff.
And I mean, they kind of make her out to be, in this episode, I really feel like they kind of shit on Vixen. Like, she doesn't really do much. They make her kind of stupid in this. Like, she says a lot of things, or they do a lot of things.
I didn't really notice that.
They do a lot of... The way I see it is, there's one point later on...
She comes across to me as very competent in this episode. She's got her own career, her own goals.
Physically, she's very competent, but before, they like, just throw stuff to her. They, they throw her a bone, like, all the time. They make it really easy for her to just keep going with the plot.
I don't know. I feel like she's shown as pretty smart in this episode.
Well, later we'll get to a point later on, but I want to show it that what they do is bad storytelling. It's bad exposition, but they keep doing it to Vixen, so it made me feel like the episode was treating her like an idiot. Not like they made her out to look like an idiot, but the episode was treating her like one. I mean, she does a lot of really cool fighting in this. She fucking turns into an eel. She's like her spirit animal. It makes it an eel and fucking shocks the bad guy. That was cool.
That was cool. The electric eel was cool. She had a really good fight scene later. We'll talk about that.
Right.
So Green Lantern comes in, and Vixen tries to change the plan from romantic concert to something, let's just call it a little less formal. But Green Lantern is distracted because he needs to talk to Hawkgirl. Vixen leaves, a little bit shaken about her relationship, and Hawkgirl tosses her water bottle.
Right.
She catches it and is happy for about 3 nanoseconds. Until she remembers the earlier conversation and promptly throws out the water bottle.
I loved that one too. She's like, wait a minute, she was talking about poisoning me. I don't think I want to drink this anymore. I'm gonna go buy another water bottle.
I think it would have been funny if she takes a drink out of it, looks at Hawkgirl, and just walks away. And then goes and you see her spit into the trash can outside the room.
Yeah, it's like, ha ha ha, oh, that silly thing about poisoning water, turns the corner, starts spitting it out in the trash.
Throw up immediately, throw up immediately, throw up immediately.
Yeah, right. Don't swallow, don't swallow, don't swallow, don't swallow.
So, Green Lantern, when they're alone, warns Hawkgirl about Hawkman, and she's unconcerned. Which, by the way, there's no reason Vixen had to leave the room for a conversation like that. There was no reason for Green Lantern to ask Vixen to leave. She could have been there for that. Everyone in the league knows that Hawkman is super creepity creep.
Maybe it was more of a...
He wanted to be alone with her.
I get that. I feel like it could have been trying to, he wanted to, well, yeah, there you go. All right. He wanted to protect her. He wanted to look out for her, He was like, I don't want anyone else to hear more about this. I want it to just be her thing. But in a way, you're right. It is very much of him wanting to be alone with her. Because him wanting to play the whole big brother kind of role.
I wouldn't use the word brother, but...
Well, this is an incestual relationship they're having, Jordan. This shit is real.
It's certainly damaging on a personal level to both of them. So, cut to Green Lantern in Vixen's home the next morning. She's finishing up packing, and he's finishing up coffee. She goes over to him, She goes over to him and explains her itinerary, and they kiss goodbye. There's a really sweet moment when he asks her if she has time for breakfast, and she says she only has time for an English muffin. And just as she turns around, an English muffin pops out of the toaster for her. That Green Lantern knew her well enough that he'd already planned for her answer.
Right. I also like how they made it where he cut the corners of the sandwich.
That was nice.
Yeah. Well, no, it also proved to be very, what was it? Very, very, what's the term? Military. It's like, it's got to be cut this way. It was.
Well, he's a disciplined man. Apparently his sock drawer is very funny.
Right. His sock drawer is very funny. His sock drawer is very,
One of the better jokes of this series was, oh, I have seen his sock drawer.
Oh my.
So this is also an extremely explicit sexual reference, but I'm pretty sure this is shockingly not an episode written by what's his face? This is not an episode written by the showrunner.
Sound like you were going to say J. Edgar Hoover, and I'm like,
the guy who wrote the Dakota verse, who we talk about all the time, who's the biggest writer on the show. Dwayne McDuffie. Who is awesome.
Good man.
Good man, good pirate.
Good man. Good pirate? What?
It's a thing my friend used to say whenever someone was gone. He would say, oh,
he's a pirate?
Good man, good pirate.
Huh.
So it's a great coupley scene. Vixen leaves the elevator. She notices a little shadow. She starts to go down the elevator, and she sees Shadow Thief crossing to the door, and then crashes through to save Green Lantern. Kind of badass of her to save Green Lantern, not the other way around.
Right. Well, yeah. That was pretty cool. She just, you see her eyes
with
get
the
a little...
rhino, too.
Yeah. I loved it because it looked like it was going to be one of those things where she sees it and then just goes, nah, and wanders off.
It shows she's nice. Smart. She can put two and two together, even when she doesn't have she doesn't have the second two.
Right. It was good of them to make it so that her battle instincts knew immediately what to do and what to go, what to go down or what. I don't know. Fuck it.
It shows her as competent. It's nice.
Yeah, it was a really good jab.
Poor building though. They just lost a very nice elevator. So I mean, worth it to save Green Lantern, but
only the door is exploded through. But still, after she, bashes through, fucking slams into the Shadow Thief, who is currently trying to beat the crap out of
he's Green Lantern. Sneaking up on Green Lantern, yeah.
Sneaking up. Sneaky.
So the three fight, and Green Lantern and Vixen have pretty good teamwork. Vixen has very interesting uses of her powers. She uses electricity powers through her electric eel.
Which was really cool.
She lifts up a bed using her gorilla powers, which they had to cut for time. You can see it in the earlier episodes preview, though, that she turned into a gorilla, and that's how she got strong. So,
right. One of the things, though, we see in this part, which I thought they were going to, elaborate on, where as they fight, Shadow Thief says, don't try to use lights on me or something like that. It hasn't worked in 3 months.
Yeah, some time's gone by.
Well, yeah, that and...
Last episode, I think it was, we had a marker of time. I don't...
What? But
I don't remember
what
what
does
it
that
was.
mean? I was expecting it to be like, I don't know, he was growing more powerful in the pit, in that ruin. Maybe he was...
yeah, it's quite possible he went back, because we know he went back there. He might have found some power-boosting Thanagarian technology.
Right. Like something happened to him is what I imagined. They didn't elaborate on it.
He's way stronger than he was last time.
Right.
And he was pretty strong last time.
Yeah, in this moment, he actually pretty much beats the shit out of Green Lantern. The only one that was really capable of doing any damage to him was Vixen, using like really cool uses of her powers that we'd never seen before.
She's a smart cookie. I like how for all my problems with her characterization, they never let you forget she's a smart person, and she knows what she's doing.
Well, I wouldn't say it was smart. I think it was more battle-tuned. She was definitely...
That's a type of intelligence.
Yeah, battle intelligence. I don't know whether or not they were telling her that she was a smart... Because, like, her personality wasn't exactly that clever or fine-tuned, but she was definitely... she had, good instinct, and she was skillful. That's for sure.
So, there's also a nice bit when Shadow Thief knocks out... Green Lantern. He says, "Darkest night beats brightest day."
Yeah, that was cool. That was a nice nod to the Green Lantern mythos.
Yeah. So then after that, he throws a bookcase on Vixen.
Right.
And runs away. I also find it interesting that Vixen's first call is to Hawkgirl.
Okay. In this moment, though, the one thing that really ticked me off was when she was like yelling at, Shadow Thief, whatever, the witty banter back and forth. It's pretty much exactly what's going to go down. What Shadow Thief says in return made me feel like they were just giving her the win. They were just giving her the ability to know where she needed to go, and they weren't going to let her, I don't know, like, figure it out on her own or have a say, have any like way to show that she actually was smart. They were just kind of they give it to her. What I mean by this, I don't know why
they didn't like bring Dr. Light or something.
What I mean by this is when Shadow Thief is yelling at her, he says, leave. You have nothing to do with this. I don't want anything to do with you. The only ones that I care about are Hawkman. Or I, he says, I, Green Lantern, and the Harpy.
Yep.
So it was just saying...
And that's how they kept their PG rating.
It was saying the place you need to go to next is to go and find Hawkgirl. Yep. But it was just so blatant. It was like...
Well, you see that's part of his plan.
I don't think it was. He says later on, he said... I didn't think that you would, bring her to me so quickly. Or it was something along the lines of, oh, wow, this is really lucky. Thanks for just dropping her by.
I thought that he figured Hawkgirl would come after him.
I think he might have figured that. He just didn't think
it would be so soon.
Yeah, I don't think it was going to be in the fact that, like, oh, hey, I thought I was going to have to take a little while longer to go and find her myself. It was, I don't know, it was just so blatant. They could have made it that she used her tracking abilities, because, she's fucking all about animals.
I think they found Green Lantern's location through his earpiece.
No.
Although it does leave the question of why they didn't just teleport him out.
I don't know, maybe they couldn't get, like, a good lock on his position or something. I don't know.
Maybe they were afraid they'd bring Shadow Thief up. He can do a lot of damage in a place.
I don't know. They tend to forget a lot about the fact that they can teleport people when and wherever the hell they want to.
Yeah, their teleporting ability is very...
They conveniently forget about it.
Let's say. So, either way. Hawkgirl and Vixen, and no backup for some reason, go to Midway City, where Hawkman works as Carter Hall, museum curator. They enter the museum, and it's oddly deserted. It's a good creepy scene. I like the animation here.
Right. They actually, in this episode, they had a lot of really good animated scenes. And I felt like that was pretty cool. They focused a lot on showcasing a lot of the imagery and the scenery back in, when they were doing the Egyptian thing and when they were fighting Gentleman's Ghost.
Each place had their own sort of distinctive art style.
Right.
So, either way, they see Green Lantern bound by Shadow Thief on the ceiling, right at the skylight, which every fictional museum has. And they fight while Vixen almost frees Green Lantern. Hawkgirl fights Shadow Thief. They both lose. Hawkman has an awesome aerial sword fight with Shadow Thief.
Right. Which kind of confused me too, because it was like, you have Thanagarian weaponry with all the lasers and the fucking lightning and shit. Why are you using just like a sword?
Well, I think it was an nth metal sword, wasn't it?
Well, it didn't show anything like that.
Well, it was in the museum. I thought that meant it was like ancient Thanagarian. I don't know.
I don't think so.
You think it was just like a random sword?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Maybe. So, yeah, either way. They have a good shot to get a decisive blow on Shadow Thief, but Hawkman blows it. And Shadow Thief regains form.
Right.
So they lose.
Yeah.
They wake up, chained to the Absorbicron from the previous Hawkman episode.
Not the Absorbicron.
Shadow of the Hawk. It was the thing that made Carter Hall crazy. And make him think he was Hawkman.
Right. The thing that shot all that crazy moonbeam energy into his goddamn chrome dome.
Yep. So he grabs their arm and pulls them to the Absorbicron.
Absorbicron, no. Yeah, the Absorbicron.
And what's really interesting here is that Hawkman was really on the touch the Absorbicron train. Last time we saw him. But now he's like, maybe this thing that made me crazy, not so good.
Not so great at the moment. At the moment, I'm not so happy about this evil, shadowy demon trying to fuck me over with this. I mean, he was wicked and he obviously had some kind of ploy, so that would make sense that he would, not want to be a part of it. But it's also, once again, just, kind of bad writing, I guess.
I think it shows that he's regained his sanity a little bit. He seems a lot better than he did last time. I think with some proper counseling, he could return to normalcy.
Some proper counseling.
Look, dude, the guy needs psychiatric help.
No, I know. I just think it's funny talking about proper counseling.
So, he needs, Black Canary from Young Justice.
Oh, yeah. She needs to come in and therapy the crap out of everybody.
So we get the backstory from Shadow of the Hawk, recast as an Arthurian tale.
Shadow of the Hawk?
Basically, here's what you need to know. There was a utopia in ancient Egypt because 2 Thanagarian police officers were sent back there, and they formed a perfect kingdom. Although this is from a Thanagarian perspective.
Kingdom was fucking great.
And then we get the Arthurian story. That's all retread from Shadow of the Hawk. So Ancient Shire wants a kid. Ancient Qatar Hall wants to wait. He says the people are owed his rule. Creepy. We're going to save that for later, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Basically, it's... Alright, so then a general comes in, Lancelot, and he comes in bearing good news.
Good news, everyone!
Yeah. So, Ancient Hawkman greets him excitedly. They're best friends, just like Arthur and Lancelot.
Oh, yeah, they're super besties.
And he just happens to look like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So, they throw in a really great little thing for DC fans, because he just conquered Black Adam's kingdom. I
Wait,
don't
what?
know.
Really?
I don't know if you know the Shazam universe. I think it'd be best to say it.
No, I didn't. I didn't know.
Yeah. So he, he says, "I conquered Teth Adam" or something like that. And he gave him the stallions. So Teth Adam is Black Adam's name. Shazam, the sorcerer, gave Teth Adam the same powers as Captain Marvel.
That super bad guy.
Yeah, but he was corrupted by the power because he didn't. It was like an Egyptian version of the power. You know, like what is it?
Right, right. It was
I don't remember the names. You know, instead of like strength of Zeus.
They say that the person was evil to begin with. Like he was a bad guy that was trying to.
I thought he was good and then he was corrupted. Either way, he formed a kingdom because of his power. And I guess this Thanagarian technology was strong enough to defeat him, which is a little scary. That's a lot of power. Right. Captain Marvel is one of the strongest people in the DC universe. He went toe-to-toe with Superman, and Black Adam is his equal.
Strong, I do say so myself.
So, there's clearly a very strong connection between Ancient Hawkman and Ancient Green Lantern. They ride... so then... They talk about the horses a little bit, and Ancient Green Lantern takes Ancient Hawkgirl riding. They very much enjoy it, as they ride through the market with blatant disregard for their subjects' safety, and into a desert oasis. We're going to put a pin in that further disregard for safety, where she confesses that she loves him, but won't leave her husband because of the good work they're doing. And what is it? Sorry. And Green Lantern says he would never ask because Arthur is his best friend.
Arthur.
I'm sorry. Ancient Hawkman.
Right. I know you're getting really into that whole...
I love Arthurian myth. I kind of like this, and we're going to talk a little bit about Arthurian myth after I finish the very quick breakdown. So they kiss. The advisor sees about it, tells Qatar... to plant the seeds of doubt. It succeeds. Ancient Hawkgirl and Ancient Green Lantern kiss. Ancient Hawkman watches. He's less than pleased. He says he wants to kill them. The advisor does kill them by poisoning the wine. And Ancient Hawkman mourns, crying over their bodies, and then kills himself.
Like, holy shit. That was really fucked up. He says, "I wish they were dead."
Yeah.
Under his breath. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to point one more thing. He dies holding her hand. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, how is she gonna hold his hand? Because she's currently.
Yeah. No.
Not able to do so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, dude, get over yourself. But.
Right. Well, I mean...
So we're going to go, I think, in order of topics here. First, we're going to talk about, were the Thanagarians good rulers? Second, we're going to talk about the Arthurian parallels. And third, we're going to talk about the creepy hand-holding at the end. Does that sound like a good order of topics we should go with, Elliot?
Yeah, sure. I'll be fine with it all.
Okay. They are clearly terrible despots. Seriously. 1. This advisor is clearly evil, but they let him stay in a position of power.
I didn't think he was evil. I just thought he looked like a dick. I mean, he didn't do anything that was particularly evil besides following his orders to a disturbing T.
I think he was evil, and he was doing that as a way to gain power.
I don't know. I don't really...
Because his equivalent in the modern time was Krager in Starcrossed, who was a very power-hungry and malevolent person.
I guess so. I mean, I would understand if you say that, but the thing is, I feel like the way they portray him afterwards, after they show him, gasping when the king dies, that one looked like he was saying more of, oh shit, what have I done?
I thought that was more of a, damn, I'm awesome. I can't believe I killed the three most powerful people in the world.
It looked way more like he fucked up. He fucked up.
That's not what I got. I got
bad.
that this was like his plan worked even better than he thought.
I don't know. I saw it more as
so
he was like, crap, I messed up.
You put a guy like that in charge. 2, no conquered person has ever been happy to be conquered. This is a fact. You don't...
Oh boy, this is working out real swell for us, actually.
Nobody ever greets liberators with flowers and cigars. Sorry, no one ever treats a foreign army coming in as a delightful thing. So
I don't know. I think I like some flowers.
So they're conquering with the idea that the people want to be conquered. Which, why are they fighting you if they want to be conquered? Is a question you should probably be asking yourself, and it's clearly a question that ancient Hawkman has never asked himself. Whereas King Arthur ruled by birth and by bringing freedom and Christianity to people, this Hawkman clearly doesn't do that. He actively opposes being worshipped as a god, seems to have no organizing principle except that he has superior technology and therefore can bring them a higher livelihood. And we see how they definitely treat their subjects as less than them, even though they do have a couple friends among their subjects. And 4, Ancient Hawkgirl and Ancient Green Lantern ride through the city streets destroying stalls and potentially trampling and killing people with no regard for it. In fact, they don't spare a second thought to the fact that they have quite likely destroyed somebody's livelihood and potentially killed somebody.
I don't think they're I think it was more of just showing the reckless abandon which they were doing.
No, I get they're showing reckless abandon, but a proper ruler should not show reckless abandon.
Well, I know that, but remember, this is for kids, and it's really just to showcase more about them being crazy ridiculous. It's just showing that, oh man, they're having a lot of fun and they're being rambunctious and kids.
No, I get they're being rambunctious, but I think it's rambunctious. But I think it's a sign of a bad leader to place so little value on the lives of your subjects. So, and the Absorbicron we're clearly supposed to get from the story that they're good rulers, but I feel like the weight of evidence shows them to be very bad rulers.
I don't know. They showed a lot about how everyone loved them. They talked about how they didn't want people to worship them like gods, but they did. I feel like there's not really much to talk about in terms of reasoning as to why they're good or bad rulers. Maybe they were a little aggressive in terms of wanting to take over the world, but to unify people. They talked about wanting to show these people Thanagarian technology to make them better.
Yeah.
I don't think it was... Yeah.
I thought that the weight of evidence shows them to be bad rulers.
Well, it showed that it talked about how they brought prosperity to Egypt.
There was certainly prosperity in the palace. But that doesn't mean there was prosperity in the countryside when you leave the court. You don't know how widely spread the prosperity was. And we have no evidence to show it really was. So...
Well, they showed it as a barren wasteland turning into a shining utopia.
I didn't really see that.
Well, they showed that in the very beginning. They showed the desert spanning then into the water and the grass.
I might have to rewatch it. I don't remember that. I remember them conquering, but I don't remember that. So...
Yeah, no, they made a point to talk about how they did very well.
I don't know, but that's them telling their story. That's the thing. They,
Well, it
of
was-
course, they think they're doing a good job. They're deluded despots.
Well,
You got to
One-
recognize that this is told in first person.
Jordan. The ones telling the story is the memory of what happened, and two, the people that are experiencing the story are kids again. So they're not going to read into this any deeper than what is being presented.
No, they're not going to read in deeper, but I think it's more interesting if you do.
It would be, yes.
I think it
That's
puts
not
a
the
different
point.
spin on it, especially considering we find out that
that's not
Shadow
what
Thief...
That's not what they're trying to make. That's not the point they're trying to make.
But
here.
I think it is the point they did make, even if it's not the point they were trying to make.
I
And I
don't
think it tells an interesting story. A more interesting story.
Reading deeper into it, then.
What?
I definitely think you're reading deeper into it then, because what was being shown here was these people coming in, giving so much to the people of Earth, and making their lives so much better.
It sounds... They
Because remember,
remind
they said-
me more
they said
of Muammar
they had
Gaddafi
they had overthrown,
than they do of
It said that they had-
Voltaire's Philosopher
it
King.
said they had overthrown the people of the Black Adam, remember?
Yeah.
And in tribute they gave them the horses because they said, and I quote, they were now under Thanagarian protection.
Okay,
It didn't
but
say
no,
they were
wait,
Thanagarian
no.
rule.
Teth Adam gives them the horses. He's still in charge of his country, and he's still a brutal dictator. He just pays tribute to the Thanagarian Empire.
Well, we saw wait, which one is Teth Adam again?
Black Adam's country.
All right. Gives to... Well, we don't know that. We don't know what it is.
It said Teth Adam gives you these fine stallions.
Because they're now under the protection. Maybe they weren't conquered as in, like, the basic normal way that we assume conquering is. Maybe they were conquered as in, like, they came over, showed them a better way, and the guys are like, oh, hey, great, you can run our country now. Here's horses as, like, thanks for that. Maybe that's what happened.
But that doesn't seem like something Teth Adam would do.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe Teth Adam was great in the old times, and after the Thanagarians exploded because they all died in Egypt like that, maybe they then, since they didn't have Thanagarian rule anymore, they fell into corruption. How about that?
It's possible. I think the weight of evidence supports my theory more, but I think it's an interesting theory.
I believe,
and I think there is certain evidence to support it.
More instead than you, but your point is fine. Your point is nice. I like the way you said that. You fucking prick.
I was trying to be fair.
Regardless,
So,
this isn't what was intended to happen anyway.
Okay, but the Arthurian parallels, our next topic,
Harbor
is clearly intended. What do you think about that? Did you like the Arthurian retelling?
I felt like it was supposed to be more of a Romeo and Juliet.
Really?
Because of the way that they end. Remember, they were poisoned and they died together.
Yeah, but it's not like Romeo and Juliet and Steve.
Well, there was another lover. Juliet's intended...
Yeah, but he doesn't seem too broken up about it. I don't think he ever gets a speaking line in Romeo and Juliet, does he?
Yes, he does.
Does he?
I can't remember his name, but he talks about... And he also dies there. He's murdered by Romeo.
Oh.
He's torn up over Juliet.
I thought that was her cousin. No. Her cousin is. Not her intended.
No, it's the
Romeo kills her cousin.
No, it's the person that's intended to marry her. Her fiance at the time or something. I don't know.
No. Romeo kills her cousin.
I'm going to look this up. Wikipedia, Romeo, and Juliet.
While you do that, I'm going to talk about the Arthurian parallels. As we said earlier, Ancient Hawkman is Arthur. Ancient Green Lantern is Lancelot. And they're both in love with Ancient Hawkgirl, who is Guinevere.
I mean, I get that, but I feel like there wasn't much...
And what is it? The advisor, or Krager in modern times, is the Mordred figure, who puts them against each other and causes the fall of Camelot. which is nice because they live in a castle just like in Camelot, and they have this. It has this sort of golden age feel, just like in Camelot. It's nice. I like it, but it's sort of desert Camelot, not regular. It fits because earlier especially in season 1, we had a lot of Arthurian sort of feels with the Morgan Le Fay episode, with a couple other episodes, and it almost connects the Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Vixen love triangle to the larger Arthurian mythos we've created. It's kind of nice that way. It brings the whole series full circle a little bit.
Alright, okay, yeah. I definitely thought there was some love going on between that.
No, I'm pretty sure I don't remember the guy's name. I remember he was in the remake with Leonardo DiCaprio, though. He was,
Tybalt. His name is Tybalt.
Her fiancé? Or her intended, I guess?
Apparently not. I don't know. It doesn't say that they had anything like that, although it's back in the day, so it could have happened.
I don't know. So, as they come out from... Oh, sorry. And then we were going to hit they die holding hands.
Yeah, we're going to hit that.
One, clearly she was in love with him, not you. You don't get to hold her hands when they die.
Alright.
It's not so bad because he was killing himself for her. I guess he gets something for that. But, really, dude, she didn't love you.
Well, no, she did love him. She loved him, but then she fell into... Oh,
you're right. She loved him in her own way. You're right.
She fell into passion and love for the other.
Just like Guinevere.
Just like...
Guinevere. Arthur's wife, Lancelot's lover.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hawkgirl figures out first. Shadow Thief is the reincarnation of the advisor. Hawkgirl is obviously Shayera, Hawkman's Qatar, and Green Lantern is the general. But it's not quite, though.
Katara.
What?
I thought you said Katara.
No. Qatar, merely. So, this would be much better if we had Katara.
Yeah.
So, but not quite, though. She doesn't quite have it, because Shadow Thief is not actually the advisor, which is what I was thinking the whole time. That Shadow Thief was a sort of Mordred figure.
Right.
But, in fact, he's
just
the dark side of Arthur. He's more of a Morgan Le Fay figure. So, that was kind of cool.
Can you really say that?
Yeah. There's no Merlin, though. Shame there isn't a Merlin.
Well, that's because I think it was so quick as
Merlin was perhaps Thanagarian technology.
I don't think so. I feel like having it be this kind of Arthurian parallel is a bit different. But excuse me, I burped. There wasn't enough, in my opinion, to make it the entirety of the Arthurian. It was just a love triangle with a really cheap addition.
The Arthurian mythos that they added on was a little bit of gloss over a story they'd already written, but I still liked it. It added some depth to the story.
I don't think it was really intended to be Arthurian mythos. That's the thing.
It was definitely intended to be Arthurian. There is no other way you can look at that.
I can see the connections. I just don't feel like it really was all the way.
I really don't see how there's any other way you can take it. They clearly, especially considering how many Arthurian themes they put in this show, especially in season 1.
Well, if you think about it, each character has their own theme going to it. So the one that had the Arthurian was usually I guess whenever they had the Arthurian going on, it was more of everyone together as a character, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it was more like Morgan Le Fay and Etrigan and that sort of thing.
Like Etrigan was always
Merlin
there.
actually does appear in this series. I just remembered that.
Wait, who?
In Justice League, Merlin is actually a character briefly. He's the one who gave Etrigan his powers as a punishment for betraying Camelot and causing it to fall.
Yeah, in the very beginning.
Yeah. So, that's kind of cool. So, there's been a lot of Arthurian story in this, and it's kind of nice they connected it to the overarching romance of the series. So,
I still just don't. I mean, like, I can see
I
it,
also
but...
think that Shadow Thief is the evil of Ancient Hawkman. Kind of fits my despot theory, by the way. Because for them to have that much darkness that's that powerful, you gotta be kind of evil.
Well...
Like, I don't think you and I can summon that level of darkness.
He said that it was all of his intentions of what he wanted.
And I mean, I guess we all have dark thoughts occasionally. But I think for them to be much more powerful than your good ones there, Ancient Hawkman was definitely a despot. So...
I can't say that, but whatever.
Alright. So yeah, so Shadow Thief tells him that he's been helping him along. He frees Hawkman and tells him to kill Green Lantern. It's a really terrible plan, but the guy's the embodiment of a despot's darkness, so his grasp of human nature is probably a little poor, seeing as he is the darkness of a non-human creature. So, a bad plan here makes sense. Let's just say. So, Hawkman pretends like he's going to kill Green Lantern, but actually frees him.
Well, yeah, well, because he is his intentions. He's a part of him.
Yeah. And
so, like,
in the end, Hawkman is a hero. He's going to do the right thing even when it hurts him to do so.
Right.
So... Oh, sorry, go.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, it was a little weird to have that whole situation where it's like, oh, no, I'm not my own thing. I'm actually a part of your evil intentions. Like, I
kind of liked it. It explained why they couldn't defeat him.
I don't know. Well,
and why Hawkman was by far the most successful. Even though I think it's pretty clear Green Lantern's the most powerful person there.
Yeah, but...
From what we've seen, considering he was considered more powerful than Supergirl without a doubt.
I mean, I know that, but just the thing was... taking this one character and making it so that he was what? A freaking, what do you call it?
He was Lancelot?
No, not
well, Lancelot was more powerful than Arthur.
No, shush. Also, I don't think so. I think Arthur was more powerful.
Arthur was the king, but Lancelot was the finest knight in the land.
Yes, but Arthur had Excalibur as well as the scabbard that would...
Every Arthurian story, Lancelot would beat Arthur in a fight.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Excalibur was just his right to rule. It wasn't like a magic sword that could cut through armor or anything.
Yeah, it was. Excalibur was insanely powerful, man.
It was just a really well done sword.
No,
that had magic powers.
Was super magic, man. Excalibur was like amazingly magic.
I'm reading Bullfinch's mythology right now. Excalibur was his right to rule. It was a living symbol of the cross.
Well, no, his right to rule was the sword in the stone. Excalibur.
That was Excalibur.
No, it's not.
Excalibur was the sword in the stone.
No, it was not. The sword Excalibur was given to him by the lady in the lake. Remember?
Yes, it was. Huh.
That was not Excalibur.
You're right, it must not have been. Okay.
Exactly. Excalibur was a very powerful sword that would manage to, like, chop through armor and would leave wounds where, like, if you blocked it, it would still deal damage. I read these like ancient passages and shit like that, and
dude, I'm reading Bullfinch's mythology. Lancelot was clearly the strongest knight.
I don't know. Whatever. I haven't read it in a while. Whatever. Herp a derp.
Hawkgirl. Sorry. Green Lantern frees Hawkgirl. And I also must say I like here that they put a commercial break right before Hawkman raises the axe. Because normally
Right.
it's like two heroes are about to kill each other. Wow, there's no suspense here. But Hawkman isn't really a hero. He's just a crazy dude with an axe.
Yeah, right?
So, there actually is a little suspense here.
It's like, maybe Hawkman is going to actually try to kill him.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing. I wouldn't have been terribly surprised if Hawkman tried to kill him, but Vixen stopped him. Instead of the way they did it. But the way they did it was very good, too. So, they fight. Shadow Thief breaks Green Lantern's arms. Sorry, single arm. Hawkgirl and Green Lantern
That was
conference.
like really fucking dark right there. It's like, I hear you need to concentrate, so breaks your fucking arm. Oh my god.
Well, he is evil. And he is like the darkness in a person. That's like pure, unalloyed evil right there.
I don't think it was that he was evil. Like,
Lex Luthor's like, damn, that guy's evil.
It was just wicked intentions. He was longing, and
that's a good question. Could someone
desire.
like him be considered evil? Is that in the nature of evil to be like him?
To long after things?
Well, it just... Do you have to have some goodness inside you to be evil? Or is it just his nature that makes him do evil things, and we can't really consider him evil because he doesn't know any other way?
That's getting some crazy philosophy right there.
And I think that's
I
why
feel
it's
like
interesting.
he's evil because of the intention at which he was created.
And the
But
opposite to
if
that
you
is
wanted
the
to
love
say, what?
of Hawkgirl and Green Lantern.
I don't know.
So,
Fuck it. All of it. It's all awful.
Whatever.
All of it's awful.
So Hawkgirl and Green Lantern come up with a plan. Green Lantern goes after Vixen, who has been lost and is hopefully not dead.
Right.
Hawkgirl goes to save Hawkman, who's fighting Shadow Thief and losing. He fights them both, and he's got them on the advantage when Hawkman absorbs.
Hawkman starts
Shadow
choking
Thief.
him out, which was
Yeah.
a little weird.
He's a strong dude.
You were fighting him with a sword for, like,
And
5
unlike
minutes
Hawkgirl,
ago.
he could probably actually bench press because these wings are fake.
Yeah, but, like, he was choking him out, man. He was choking out a shadow. A shadow that made swords before. It didn't make sense to me.
Well, here's the thing. It was because Shadow Thief was part of Hawkman. And by accepting the darkness in him, I think... Because we had been shown that he was getting more sane, like when he didn't want to touch the Absorbicron.
Well, no, I feel like it was just that he was overpowering him because he is him, technically. So he was, at that point, he was, like, putting him back inside.
Yeah, I think it's like Wizard of Earthsea. Oh, spoiler alert. Skip ahead like 10 seconds if you haven't read the end of Wizard of Earthsea. So, in Wizard of Earthsea, in the end, he's able to conquer the Shadow, who I think has some parallels to Shadow Thief. Because it is part of himself. He's able to overcome it, and he knows its true name. So it's like that, I think.
Yeah.
So
True.
he apologizes to Hawkgirl. He says they both know how the story ends and flies away. Which I think shows that by embracing his darkness, he's become a more complete person with the full range of desires, and he's become more sane. And he's got a little more perspective than he did at the beginning of the episode. That perhaps without our darkness, we're a little bit less.
Darkness.
Something dark side.
Something dark side. Something complete. Beautiful.
So,
Perfect.
at the Metro Tower, although we get no establishing shot,
The Metro Tower.
Oh
my.
Hawkgirl informs Green
How many
Lantern.
episodes? And I never made that joke.
Yeah. Hawkgirl informs Green Lantern and us that Vixen is hurt, but she'll be okay. Green Lantern then confesses to her about Warhawk and the future.
Right.
Hawkgirl's hopeful that they're getting together, and I really feel for her. I think anyone who's had feelings for someone who doesn't share them knows that look that Hawkgirl has.
Right.
That one hurt me a little bit to watch.
Right.
So, So it does that. It's great animation. It really shows all of her emotion and that sort of desperate hope of unrequited, I'm not going to call it love, like. So yeah. He says he's staying with Vixen, though. She says, "Don't say you don't love me." And he replies, "I'll never say that." One of the many reasons he should not stay with Vixen. Like, seriously, you're being really unfair to her. I mean, don't break up with her in the hospital. Like, don't pull a Newt Gingrich.
Oh, geez.
But, yeah, don't do, don't do what you just did there. Either. So, he won't be a puppet of faith. Even if he has to lie to himself to avoid being a puppet.
I do like that.
So,
that he's like, I won't be a puppet of fate. I'll live my life how I want to.
There's an element of the tragic hero to it. That he knows where the path leads, but he's going to meet it with dignity. It's kind of a beautiful, stoic sort of thing.
So beautiful. So stoic.
So, in another room, Batman is working on a supercomputer when Hawkgirl comes in and asks about her son.
I don't like that ending.
That's one of my favorite parts of the whole series.
I didn't like it, at all.
She just goes, tell me about
my son. Right. I mean, I get that. It's just... I just felt like there was... Leaving it on that is very... what's the word? Leaving it on...
I would have loved to hear that conversation, but there's no way they could have scripted it and had it been as good as what I can imagine. So, I wonder if there's Justice League fanfiction on that.
Justice League fanfiction.
I mean, if I was going to write fanfiction, which I don't have nearly enough time to do, or any desire to, about Justice League, I feel like that's one of the best points. Like this episode, because this episode so expands the mythos that there's a lot you can do with it.
Excuse me, what I was about to say. I feel like what could have happened a bit more would be, giving more of a... It's so fucking hard for me to explain why I don't like that scene. It just seemed very desperate, and it just didn't end well. It ended, very, kind of pathetically.
I thought it ended quietly and with dignity.
Everyone has a moment in this episode in the end where they're all just, sad. Nothing good happens, and they're all just, upset.
But nothing good happened in this episode. This episode was a loss for the Justice Leaguers, and it showed in their body language and conversations.
Well, it was what's the term? It was good for poop. For Green Lantern got a little clarity. It was good for Hawkman because he got to finish. He also got clarity as well. What is it? He also, they got rid of fucking, what's his name? The Shadow Thief demon guy. God, I'm absolutely dying right now. Yeah, Shadow Thief. But,
well, I think Shadow Thief Demon Guy is a very good name for him, considering that he
Shadow
is the
Thief Demon Guy.
embodiment of the dark impulses of an ancient despot.
You are not going to let that go.
It sounds really good, though.
I know,
Isn't
right?
there, some great phrasing?
There's totally some movie going on about that title. But it's just... no one has fun this episode. It's a sappy romance, and I don't feel like the kids are going to have fun in any way with this.
I liked this episode.
I didn't.
It's not like a top 5 episode, but it's a good episode. It's a good, solid episode. It expanded the mythos. It brought some interesting, thought-provoking things into the universe. I kind of dig the Hawkgirl, Green Lantern romance. Not a fan of the Vixen love triangle thing, or the Hawkman, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl love triangle. Like, they've got these two intersecting triangles. Wonder what shape it would make. Okay, let's see. Hawkman likes Hawk Girl.
Oh my god.
Who likes Green
This is a thing that's happening,
Lantern.
isn't it?
Who likes Vixen. But Hawkman also, Green Lantern also likes Hawk Girl. Let's see. It's like a
This is
like a
secretly
sine
everything I've
curve,
ever wanted.
basically. I guess. It's like a sine curve with a weird part where Green Lantern kind of half comes back. Doesn't really make a shape. It's just kind of a love chain.
You got it, Jordan. Don't worry about it. Everything that you know is real, and everything that you dream of will come true.
I'm calling it the love chain.
Oh my god.
Love chain. Love,
love
chain.
chain.
So that was a weird musical interlude.
So what would you say about our big question then?
So I don't know. I don't know if the romance works in this episode though. Like, that's the thing. It makes me think Green Lantern isn't a good person, which I don't like about this show. Is when Green Lantern isn't a good person. I so see the chemistry, and I enjoy the chemistry between Hawkgirl and Green Lantern, especially in Justice League. But this love triangle has, I think, run its course a little bit, right?
Right.
So why do you think they hit this nail one more time?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, the reasoning why is to wrap things up. It's their major players.
But they didn't wrap things up. They left it open. If they had another season, we would have gotten 3 more of these episodes.
I don't know. I think this is a wrapping up kind of segment. This is the we're leaving it in the air until the final episode kind of thing.
But they don't clear it up in the final episode.
Well, no.
And we're not really sure who we're supposed to be rooting for. Like, usually in these love triangles, we have a clear rooting interest. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, just because doesn't mean that's a bad story.
No, it doesn't mean it's a bad story, but if you're going to spend this little time, you should probably make it a little more clear-cut, because I like both Vixen and Hawkgirl. Now, I know which one I like more, but I think respectable people can disagree on which one you like more.
I feel like what we were supposed to get from this is just the wrapping it up of it. I mean, like, I don't think this was written well at all. I think it was, poorly. The dialogue was just bleh. The reasoning was also bleh. This is really one of my least favorite episodes. But it's something maybe for clarifying what to happen with the adults as they watch it. That's why, the story wasn't written so great, but the love triangle was kind of okay.
Yeah. They spent a lot of time on this love triangle. It's one of the biggest points of character in this show. So. It really is. It's one of the biggest points of character development we have in this show. I guess they felt if they wanted to do a character episode, they needed to include this.
I really don't. I mean, like, there wasn't much character development here. It was, if anything, was for Hawkman, and the only development really was just
that he regained his sanity. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, for Hawkman, but that was it. For everyone else, it was just them.
Well,
learning
I think
about
Green
stuff.
Lantern came to that conclusion, that very sort of beautiful Roman stoic conclusion that he wouldn't let himself be Fate's puppet. And Hawkgirl, I guess for lack of a better word, was able to fully admit to himself that she wanted to pursue Green Lantern. Vixen was a little bit of an afterthought in this episode.
Right.
She was an awesome afterthought, but
she was
a bit of an afterthought.
An awesome afterthought. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't, there was just so much fuckery. there was just they had so many little things that just pissed me right the fuck off. Like I can't even begin to explain it. All the reasonings that pushed them forward were terrible. The advisor that killed the fucking queen and their biggest fucking what's his name on a whim, their best fighter on a whim. Like, are you kidding me? That's what happened?
It was clearly part of his plan to kill them.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. It looked way more like he was trying to explain that he did this because the king told him to. Because the king's like, yeah, no, man, you said, you fucking said, man, you said go and kill him. I wish they were dead, and I did it. That's really what I got.
Okay. So where would you put it then?
Really low.
Well, that I figure.
I mean, there were a few things of this that I liked, but everything else was just really meh. So, yeah, in all honesty, this is my last. This is the least.
Worse than Far From Home, which you wanted to rank as 35.
Worse than Far From Home. It was just so bad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh man, it was really crappy.
I think I would compare it to was The Greatest Story Never Told, which was really exposition-y, and it had a cringeworthy villain.
There was no villain.
The Greatest Story Never Told would have been a much better episode without Mongol in it.
Without? Oh no, you mean not The Greatest Story Never Told. You mean the man who is everything.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, For the Man Who Is Everything.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I was totally talking about the wrong episode.
Yeah.
So For the Man Who Is Everything. Now, but I don't think it was as good because For the Man Who Is Everything, the high points were way higher. Superman getting stuck in traffic will forever have my heart.
Right. I know how much you enjoyed that.
So, I'm going to put it one step below that. Just above The Return, which I didn't love. So,
like the Greatest Stories Never Told was not a lot of exposition.
No, it wasn't. That was my mistake.
Crazy, weird scenes with all the fucking zibbity zow and bibbity bops, you know?
Yep. And now only 2 episodes left, and it's a 2-parter. We're in the exciting finale.
Oh, geez, yeah.
All the plot episodes have been building up to this.
All the plot episodes have been converging to one major point.
So,
some fantastic ending shall be upon us. Yes, Jordan?
Yep. So, do you have any last words, Elliot?
Stick to writing scenes that don't involve really stupid love triangles. How about that?
And stay beautiful.